What's going on, guys? Your boy Boxing Facts Over Fiction. Today I'm going to give you guys the realest breakdown. The breakdown you've never gotten from anybody else. I'm going to keep it 100, man. I'm going to give you everything I know, my boxing knowledge, everything I know from watching boxing. But first, I need you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon for more videos like this, because I am about to go in. Pay attention, please. Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, the fight that's brewing in the mouths of millions of boxing fans. That's all you hear about: Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. We barely hear Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder like we used to. Now it's Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, the hottest debate on YouTube right now in the boxing world. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. Who wins? Who wins? It's going to be a 50-50 fight. I admit that. But honestly, guys, I believe the favorite in this fight is Terence Crawford. And I'm going to give you the realest breakdown why Terence Crawford is the favorite in this fight. We're going to look at resumes, and we're going to look at accomplishment. And we're going to look at who's been at the biggest stage, who fought more champions, who fought at the highest level. Skills pays the bills. Styles make fights. We're going to look at all that in this video today. We're going to look at all of that. Let's start with Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. One of my favorite fighters in boxing right now. May not have the best defense, but he has a lot of heart. He has a lot of grit. He has a lot of willpower. In my opinion, right now, I'm going to keep it 100. Errol Spence only has 2, maybe 3 notable names on his resume, because he's at 147, guys, and he hasn't fought the top guys at 147. Errol Spence has only fought 3 top guys that I know about. If I can even say Algieri is the top guy. But the only top guy Errol Spence has fought was Lamont Peterson. When he fought Lamont Peterson, he didn't have a belt. He wasn't undefeated. When he fought Kell Brook, he wasn't undefeated. He just came off a knockout from Gennady Golovkin. So here we are. Errol Spence has fought 3 guys that we really know about. Lamont Peterson, who has taken a lot of losses before Errol Spence fought him. Not a lot, but a few losses. Kell Brook, who has taken the first loss of his career. His confidence is completely shot when Errol Spence fought him. And Algieri, who's taken a few losses too when Errol Spence fought him. And I'm not going to lie, he fought this guy, Linder Bundu, who went neck and neck with Keith Thurman. Errol Spence did what we all expected him to do, knocked him out, yes. But let's not forget, Linder Bundu was like 40 years old. When Errol Spence fought him, he was not in his prime. So we all knew who was going to win. It was not a 50-50 fight. Let's be honest, guys. Then Errol Spence fought Lamont Peterson. We all knew he was going to win this fight. Lamont Peterson has been in a lot of wars, close fights with Danny Garcia. Lamont Peterson almost lost to Felix Diaz, who Terence Crawford beat up and stopped. Made quit. And Crawford was in the smaller weight class when he beat Felix Diaz. Felix Diaz was a gold medalist. Crawford beat him. Lamont Peterson beat him. Barely. I thought the fight could have went either way. But Errol Spence beat Lamont Peterson, Kell Brook, Algieri, Linder Bundu. Those are the best guys on Errol Spence record. The only champion on Errol Spence record, Kell Brook. Come on, guys. Now, Lamont Peterson, Kell Brook, Linder Bundu. When he fought those guys, only one of them had a belt, which was Kell Brook, who just came off a devastating loss to Gennady Golovkin. Jumped up 2 weight division to fight him. Nobody told him to, but he did. He did. He lost his confidence when he lost to Gennady Golovkin. He came back down, Kell Brook, and he lost to Errol Spence. Those are Errol Spence's toughest opponents. Now we're going to look at Terence Crawford, guys. Terence Crawford continued to dominate and beat champions. Just beat Jeff Horn, a champion, WBO champion. Crawford won every single round when he beat Jeff Horn. He won every single round when he beat Jeff Horn. A champion who beat Manny Pacquiao. Just Manny Pacquiao alone. You know how many people how many world champions Manny Pacquiao beat? Crawford could have whooped Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao told Bob Arum he didn't want that fight. I did a video. Go check that video out. This is a fight when Errol Spence got hurt by Leonard Baudot. We're going to act like we didn't see this. But Leonard Baudot rocked Errol Spence. We're going to act like we didn't see this. Errol Spence got rocked by Leonard Baudot. Okay. So Crawford been hurt. But Errol Spence never been hurt. Guy look like he about to go to sleep right there. Okay, we're gonna act like we didn't see that one. But let me get back to Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Bud Crawford has been fighting all champions. The one guy he beat that wasn't a champion but was undefeated and a gold medalist is the guy you guys are gonna continue to say that was his best win, Gamboa. Gamboa was moving up in weight. He wasn't a champion. He was undefeated. He was in his prime. Crawford was 26 years old. Gamboa was 32 years old. Crawford was 26 years old. Where the hell was Kell Brook at 26 years old? Where the hell was Errol Spence at 26 years old? Do you think if Errol Spence was fighting at 140, because he fights at 147, we got to be on an even playing field, guys. Errol Spence at 26 years old fighting Gamboa at 140, not 147, because Gamboa should be at 140, right? You think at 26 years old, Errol Spence beats a Gamboa undefeated in his prime? At 26 years old, Crawford beat Gamboa at 26 years old. You guys neglect that. 4 years ago, Crawford was 26 years old when he beat Gamboa. A undefeated Gamboa. Never been stopped before. Undefeated. In his prime. 26 years old, Crawford beat him. Where the hell was Kell Brook? Where the hell was Errol Spence Jr.? They would have to go down to 140 to fight Gamboa. Would they have beaten a Gamboa at 140, 135 in his prime? Would they have beaten Gamboa in his prime at age 26? Because I'm not talking about right now. He's out his prime and he's older. Come on, guys. Gamboa wasn't even a champion. Crawford, 26 years old, beat an undefeated gold medalist in his prime at 26 years old. At 26 years old, Errol Spence, nobody knew who he was. Like that. 26 years old, who the hell was Kell Brook? Nobody really knew who he was. He wasn't fighting nobody. Let's put this on an even playing field. What was these guys doing at 26 years old? Let's not forget, Emmanuel Lartey was the first guy to almost knock out Errol Spence Jr. at the end of the round. Emmanuel Lartey, he buzzed Errol Spence Jr., almost put him down. And this was a guy earlier in Errol Spence's career, before he even hit 23 fights. Terence Crawford, the one time Terence Crawford gets hurt, he make Gamboa pay. He destroyed Gamboa at 26 years old. Crawford was the champion already of the WBO, and he stopped an undefeated Olympic gold medalist guy in his prime. He stopped him. Gamboa is not in his prime yet. So how can you compare Gamboa now to Kell Brook? How can you compare Gamboa now to Kell Brook now? Gamboa is out his prime. He's older. We're talking about, let's go back to when Gamboa was 30 years old. When Crawford was 26 years old. You guys, you can't neglect that. You have to stick with the facts. Gamboa has a way better resume than Kell Brook and Errol Spence. We all know this. We all know this. Terence Crawford will beat the hype that is Errol Spence. And we're all going to hear from these fans that Errol Spence wasn't ready, or Errol Spence only had 23 fights. Crawford was 30-something fights in. Errol Spence should have waited. Blah, blah, blah. Crawford ran. We're going to hear that. We're all going to hear a lot of excuses when the more experienced, the guy that has fought better competition, beat way more champions than Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford, when they finally fight and Terence Crawford beats Errol Spence, you guys are not going to give him his credit, his just dues. You're going to do the same thing you've done to Floyd Mayweather. You only give him his respect. You're only going to give a great fighter in his prime his respect when he retires. It's the only time you can, just like how you guys give Floyd Mayweather credit right now when Mayweather retired. Crawford's in the third weight division. He fought all champions, kicking ass and taking names. He has way more belts than Errol Spence can even dream of. How many belts do Errol Spence have? How many? Tell me. How many belts do Errol Spence have? How many world champions have Errol Spence beat? Has Errol Spence ever held the Ring Magazine belt? Fighter of the Year? Has Errol Spence ever had the lineal belt? How many belts has Errol Spence have? How can you compare a guy that only has one belt to a living legend who cleaned out all his divisions? How dare you compare these two? There is no debate in here. How dare you even try to compare a resume? How many belts do Kell Brook have? If Kell Brook is that good, how many belts do he have? How many belts has he won? How many belts has Errol Spence won? Come on, guys, man. You can't debate here, man. You don't have a debate, guys. You don't have a debate, man. You guys need to chill. There is no debate in here. There is no debate in here. Errol Spence and Kell Brook and Lamont Peterson, man. You cannot compare those guys to a great fighter who has done way more in his career than these guys will probably ever do in their lifetime. What the hell has Errol Spence done? One title. One notable name. Wow. Kell Brook. One title. One notable name, meaning one guy he beat. Sean Porter. What are you guys talking about? Where is the debate at? What are we debating on? Errol Spence will lose to Terence Crawford. The hype job will be exposed. Okay, guys, maybe I'm reaching by calling Errol Spence a hype job. No, he's not a hype job. Errol Spence is a great fighter. He's one of my favorite fighters in the game right now. But there's no way Errol Spence beats Terence Crawford. I promise you that. Errol Spence doesn't have the experience. He hasn't fought at the biggest level yet. He's only done it one time in his career when he went over to England. He's not ready for a Terence Crawford, who's been in the game longer, has more experience, and is the better skillful fighter. And the size advantage is not that vast. Errol Spence, 5'9", maybe 5'9.5". Terence Crawford, 5'8". Terence Crawford has fought guys 5'10" and up. 5'11". Indongo, 5'11". Victor Posto, 5'11". They're taller than Errol Spence. So it's not the height advantage, weight advantage. That doesn't matter. Man, I love both fighters. I want to see the best man win. But if I'm betting my money is on Terence Bud Crawford, because that's my guy. And I'm rocking with Terence Bud Crawford. And I feel like